You what?
What's up, guys? Welcome to my YouTube video. Today we're about e-learning.
Turn around. You signed a form at the beginning of the year that gave consent, right? Sure, I like that idea actually.
Let's go.
All right, this is a short assignment. Jerry's point. Just a few sentences. Someone asked Jerry, "Hey Jerry, what's been going on?" Yeah, Jerry's point of view. So he doesn't know everything that has gone on. He just knows one side of it. That's okay. That's okay. I'll get what you mean, but I would prefer you write it in the first place. Stop. You're in that front desk. You're always in the wrong desk. This way. Sean talk to him. Come on, stop over. Alright, this is just a bell ringer, so it doesn't mean keep on. Like. Okay, just about one more minute. If you finish it, go ahead and hold your hand up so I can come get it, because you don't have a minor right now to put it in. I got 1 minute. Well, he doesn't really have a lot to go on, does he? So what would you, knowing what you know, about what he thinks about his brother, what do you think he thinks? All right, if you're not finished, go ahead and turn it in. I'll give you more time at the end of class to finish it. I'll give you more time at the end of class to finish it going. Come on.
Jerry. Hi, welcome to my YouTube video.
All right, do I have everybody's bell ringer? No.
You can see him. Miss Jones in here.
All right, y'all. Oh, just see the back of your head.
Yeah, let me see. I'm gonna scooch over a little bit.
All right, what are we looking at there?
That one there.
Yeah. East Bank champions, exactly. These are the East Bank champions. So this is right after they won the East Bank championship. Now, a couple nights later, they had another game, which didn't have the same outcome, right? Tough loss. Really difficult to absorb that kind of loss. Our guys, they played really hard. Felt so bad for y'all because I was there watching it. But at the end of the game, there was a lot of dispute. There was a lot of angry people, and a lot of people had different versions of what exactly happened in that game. Does one of the team members want to give you just like a quick synopsis? So, what do you think the story of that game was? Brian, okay. Well, that's one of the players. I was going to ask one of the first persons who was there. But Brian, what do you think happened? Well, before you get to that, how about, I'm thinking more of the game itself. Yeah, your perspective. It happens, doesn't it? And I remember, Brennan, you made a comment to me about the game. If you had to sum up the game in like one sentence, why did y'all lose? Okay, because of the refs, okay? I watched the game and I thought there were some bad calls too, okay? Now, if I were to ask someone from Liverday, the other school, what they thought the story of the game was, would their story of the game be the same as the story of the game we just heard from our two players? Probably not, okay? And why would that be? Because what? Well, they wanted to do good, but our guys wanted to do good too, didn't they? Okay, yeah. Well, because they won, right? Well, I think both people would agree that they won the game, but Trent? All right, they see what they want to see, and they say what they want to say. And how would that tie in now to what we've been talking about in this unit? In this unit, someone besides Trent, in this unit, what have we been talking about? What's been our focus in this 9 weeks? What are we asking ourselves about literature in this 9 weeks? Okay, Trent. You can't believe the narrator, okay? So when someone tells you the story of a basketball game that they either watched or participated in, they're basically narrating to you. And can you always believe the version that someone tells you of the game that they played in? Okay. Might they be a little bit prejudiced in how they present it? Okay? What does prejudice mean? Who can tell me, what does prejudice mean? Anybody? Okay, well, let's look at the word prejudice. It starts with a prefix, pre. Okay? What does it mean in a word when the prefix pre is there? What does the pre part of it mean usually? Okay? Past tense? Kind of in the right ballpark. Before, okay? Okay, so pre means before. So it's pre and then J-U-D. If we're doing something before, what might the J-U-D refer to? No? Judge, very good. Very good. To prejudge. So when we prejudge, does that mean that we're possibly doing what? We prejudge. If we look at something and we prejudge it, what are we actually doing? Lola? Right, judging before we've even seen something happen. Okay? So people might come into a basketball game and they're going to see the basketball game one way because they're rooting for one team. And the other team's going to see everything that happens in the game their way. Okay? All right, and so in your bell ringer today, you had to write a version of what has happened so far in Monster from Jerry's point of view. Who can remind us who is Jerry in this story? Okay, Edwin? Who is it? Steve's little brother. And what is Jerry's view of Steve? How does he view Steve? Someone new who hasn't raised their hand yet. Isabella, how does Jerry view Steve? He looks up to him, and he even calls him yes, Sean, he calls him a superhero. So, if we think about all the people in the story who are given their opinion of who Steve is, well, we know Steve's opinion of who he is. How does Steve feel about himself? How does Steve feel about himself? Well, you did raise your hand, right, Evan? He thinks he's a monster. He doesn't think he's a monster. However, on the side note, isn't Steve's opinion of himself kind of fluctuating a little bit? Who can tell me how and why is Steve's opinion of himself fluctuating, changing? Okay, Sean?
He called himself a monster.
He called himself a monster, but he also, Devin, doesn't he say in the book the reason you think that he doesn't think of himself as a monster? He says that too, but then later in the book, yes, Sean, he does think of himself as a monster. What's causing his belief to change? Okay, Lola? Yes, other people calling him a monster. And sometimes, do they always come out and say the word monster when they think of him as a monster? What are some other ways in which people let him know that they think he's a monster? Okay, Isabella? Yes, when he smiled at who? It wasn't a judge. Are you talking about the female he smiled at? She was a, what? She was a pretty lady, but she was a juror, okay? So what happened when the juror smiled at him? So Brian. Well, what happened before she looked away? She smiled at him, okay? Okay, so she smiled, he smiled back at her, and then she looked away. So is it possible that maybe she wasn't actually smiling at him and he thought she was? She probably was. If she thinks he's a monster, she probably wouldn't smile at him in the first place. So, but all these things are piling up on Steve, making him feel like he's a monster. And then yesterday we talked about how everyone in the story, and these are only a few of them, have their own view of Steve. And so we didn't talk really about Jerry's view of Steve, but yes, that's what you wrote about today, is how Jerry's view of Steve. Is Jerry's view of Steve going to be quite different from the prosecuting attorney? Was it? Maybe, okay. Why do you think Jerry's view would be different, possibly? Okay, so he doesn't know, okay. But then again, the prosecutor also doesn't know either, does he? Okay. All right, so. All right, so in our past classes, we learned about the narrative point of view and analyzed the narrative point of view of Monster by Walter D. Myers. Who can tell me, when I ask you about the narrative point of view, what is it that I'm actually asking you? When I say, what's the narrative point of view of this story or that story, what am I actually asking you? What am I asking you to tell me? What is the narrative point of view of any story, Sean? What the narrator thinks, that's part of it, yes? Okay, whose point of view are we hearing? And do we just want to know, like, who it is, or do we also need to know about that person so that we have a feeling for, well, what do I need to know about this person so when I hear what he says, do I know I can believe it? Okay, do I know if I can believe it? Someone want to read what we'll be doing today? Okay, Edwin.
Today we will be Wars of Monster by Walter D. Myers and preparation for a Silver press conference by and
Okay, so we're going to read some more of Monster as we've been doing every day, and then we're going to prepare for another literature press conference. Did y'all enjoy doing your literature press conference last time? About Telltale Heart? Okay, great. So here's your opportunity to do that again. Okay, and as Edwin said, we'll be analyzing different aspects of the story. Well, considering what our focus is in this unit, what's one of the main aspects of Monster that we're going to be analyzing? What question do we want to constantly ask ourselves when we're reading Monster in this unit? Do you know, Miriam? All right, Edward, what do we want to ask ourselves? Can we trust the narrator? Okay, can we trust the narrator? And also, can we trust the opinion of other people in the story? Okay, all right. Okay, so you're going to need your copy of Monster. Does anyone want to volunteer to pass out the books? Okay. You can help them out. And then you also need your press conference preparation guide. We've used those before. We're going to hand out those later when we break into groups. And we will be starting on page 137. Starting on page 137. Do I have a student volunteer who'd like to start the reading? Okay, Michael. 137. Let's wait till everybody's there. Remember, read nice and slow so everybody can keep up. Everybody's with us on 137? We're not just listening, but we're following along. You can go ahead and start now.
Saturday, July 11th, before she left, Mrs. Brennan warned me not to write anything in my notebook that I did not want to approach prosecutors to see. I asked Mrs. Brennan what she was going to do over the weekend, and she gave me a really funny look, and she told me she was probably going to watch her niece in the middle of the weekend. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. She smiled at me, and I felt better. that a smile should mean so much.
Okay, I'm gonna pause you right there. He says, I felt embarrassed that a smile should mean so much when she smiled at him. What does that possibly mean when he says he's embarrassed that a smile should mean so much? Okay, Lola? Okay, he's shy because of how he felt when she smiled at him, I agree. And how does he feel when she smiles at him? I think, Brennan? Embarrassed? What else? Anything else you would be able to say? Ah, very good point. He's embarrassed because he's not used to getting smiled at anymore. Why is he not used to getting smiled at anymore, Sean? Oh, that one lady that he thought was smiling at him looked away. What else, O'Brien? People call him a monster. People don't tend to smile at a monster, do they? Okay. All right, very good. Michael, can you continue?
We talked a while longer, and I realized that I did not want her to go. When I asked her how many times she had appeared in court around Titan, and she said too many times. She thinks I am guilty. I can feel it when we sit together on the bench.
Oh, I think you skipped one sentence. She thinks I'm guilty, and then
I know she thinks I am guilty. I can feel it when we sit together on the bench. They have a sign for us. She writes down what is being said and what is being said about me. And she adds it all up to guilty. I'm not guilty. I said to her, you should have said I didn't do it, she said.
let me pause right there. Okay. He says, I'm not guilty, I said to her. She says, you should have said I didn't do it. Can you tell me what his defense attorney means by that? He says, I'm not guilty. She says, well, you should have said I didn't do it. What's the difference there? Jaden, you know what the difference is between saying I'm not guilty or I didn't do it? Deontay, what do you think? The difference between saying I'm not guilty or I didn't do it. You don't know? Okay. All right. Okay, Trent, what do you think?
Hello?
Yes. Can I help you?
Could you talk to Gadget or please?
No, he's across the hall in Mr. Harris's class.
Harris?
Yes.
All right, thanks.
Okay. Okay, as you were saying, Trent? Say that again. Maybe saying one or the other will make him seem guilty? Okay, that's possible. Brendan, what were you going to say? Difference between saying I'm not guilty and I didn't do it. Right. Okay, so when he says I'm not guilty, it means that he might have done it, but he just hasn't been found guilty of it? Okay, right. If he says I didn't do it, that sounds like he's got more of a clear conscience. I didn't do it. I'm not guilty means, well, as far as the law is concerned, they have not found me guilty yet. Okay. All right, continue, Michael.
Say God is verdict yesterday, guilty. Man, my life is right there, he said, right here in jail. I know I did the crime, and I got to do the time. I ain't no big thing. It ain't no big thing. Most they can give me 7 to 10, which means I want them 5.5. I can do that without even thinking on it, man.
Okay, very good, Michael, thank you. All right, so when he says the most they can give me is 7 to 10, what is he saying? The most they can Is it Brian? The most what? Yes, 7 to 10 years in jail. Okay, do we have another volunteer who'd like to read? Okay, Devin? Good job, Michael. So we're on page 139, second paragraph, where it starts, it's growing. Whenever you're ready.
It's growing. First I was scared and afraid. That being scared was like a little ball in the pit of my stomach. Now that ball is growing when I think about what kind of crime I did. Felony murder and 25 years to life. My whole life will be gone. The guy said that 25 means you have to serve at least 20. I can't stay in prison for 20 years. I just can't. Everybody in here talks about set. Or hurting somebody. Or what they're in for. That's all we think about, and that's what's on my mind too. What did I do? I walked into a drugstore to look for some meds, and then I walked out. What was wrong with that? I didn't kill Mr. Nesbitt. Sunset said he committed the crime. Isn't that what being guilty is all about? You actually do something. I picked up a gun.
Oh, let's make sure we read that part right.
You pick up a gun and you aim it across a small space and pull a trigger. The crowd turns and runs screaming down the street. Maybe even you buy some baseball cards that you knew were stolen. The guys in the cell play dirty cards and react to them and talk as you know about the cases. They weighed the evidence against them and scored them and commented on each other's cases. Some of them sound like lawyers. The guards brought in a guy named Aaron, who was caught sticking up a jewelry store. Aaron was small, white, and either Cuban or Italian. I couldn't tell. The police had caught him in the act. He had taken the money and the jewelry and then locked the two boys in the back room with a padlock they used on the front gates. But then I freaked out because they had a buzzer to open the front door inside. I didn't know where the buzzer was, and I had to lock the two dudes who knew up in the back. He waited for 2 hours while people came and tried to get into the store before he called the police. He said he wasn't guilty because he hadn't taken anything out of the store. He didn't even have a gun, and his hand in his pocket like he had a gun. What they charging me with? Somebody asked. Armed robbery, unlawful detention, possession of a deadly weapon, assault, and menacing.
Very good. All right, I'm going to finish up now. We just have a little bit more reading to do. I'll finish it up. Okay, but he felt he wasn't guilty. He had made a mistake in going into the store, but when the robbery didn't go down, there was nothing he could do. Saying you're going to rob a guy and he's sitting down, Ernie went on. You say to him, give me all your money, and then he stands up and he's 7 feet tall and you got to run. They can't charge you with robbing the dude, right? He was trying to convince himself that he wasn't guilty. Okay, we're going to stop right there, but that last line, Steve is saying that this guy who was caught in the bank robbery was trying to convince himself that he's not guilty. Why is Steve so interested in that guy thinking that? Why do you think Steve is thinking about what this guy's thinking, that the guy's trying to convince himself that he's not guilty. Why would Steve be interested in that guy's perspective? Do you think Steve can relate to that? In what way? What is Steve trying to convince himself of? That he's not guilty. And he's got evidence one way and evidence the other way. He's not really sure. Okay? All right, so now we're going to get into our groups and work on our press conference. I know we have a couple of absences today. I hope every group has enough people in it that we can work successfully. So y'all know your groups. Let's go ahead and get into your groups. I'll be giving you the job assistance worksheet, which will help you to perform your job, to prepare for your press conference. I'll also be giving you the excerpts. The excerpts that you had in your binders. I took them out of your binders. I'm going to give them to you. Come on, Trent, move into your group. Where's your group at? Okay, first I'm going to give you your, is there only two from your group today? Strengths. Mellows. Guys, what is the purpose in me giving you these excerpts where I've taken...
Write notes down.
So couldn't you just take a piece of paper and write notes down? How does having these excerpts help you in doing your job for your group? Raise your hand, go ahead. Breaking down the story. How does this break down the story though? Tell me exactly. They got spaces. But did I put the whole story there with spaces in between? What's special about these excerpts? That's not yours. Oh, okay, that's special. Yes, these are important excerpts. These are parts of the story that can help you. Okay? Oh, that was stuck too. Jaden. All right, as I looked in your binders, some people did not have their copy of the excerpts. This is Lola. If your excerpts, if I haven't given you excerpts, that means that we're not in your binder. And you have them in your book bag, people who don't have them? Because I have extra copies. Raise your hand if you need a copy of the excerpts.
I get the help.
Four people in one group with no excerpts. Okay, now pass out your job guides.
Those are job guides.
Each packet has all 5 jobs in it. All right, so using accountable talk, you'll discuss with each other which jobs you're going to take. Remember, if you can take any job, but we can't have the exact same people doing the exact same job for the whole group.
I'm not the leader.
So,
I'm doing the visualizer, and last time y'all was gonna do that.
He said, "Oh,
Yeah, he said he's comfortable. I'll be the connector.
okay. So, Trent, can you read what we're going to do now in our groups? Let's listen up. Trent's going to read what we're going to do now.
In your groups, review the job descriptions on the literature, press conference, preparation documents.
Okay. Can someone tell me what is the job of the group leader? What's the job of the group leader? That is correct. That is correct. Who can tell me what is the job of the reporter? Does anyone know the job of the reporter? Okay, is that a hand raised? That one? Oh, Deontay, what's the job of the reporter?
You got to summarize what your part of the story is about.
You got to summarize what your part of the story is about. What is the visualizer's job? Can someone tell me what the visualizer's job is? Okay, Mariana? Pick just any old pictures and graphics?
No, about like.
Yes, okay, correct. What about the connector? What's the connector's job? Edwin? Connect the story to other stories that we have read. And then the analyzer, who is the one who carries the heavy weight, the analyzer is the toughest job. What does the analyzer do, Devin?
I'm going to try to say
Yes, very good. Now, most importantly,
Okay. Yeah, like another repeat.
we all need to read this together. I know we've heard it before, but I want to emphasize this. Trent, let's everybody, Deontay, let's turn around and read this together. Although
each group member will only perform a job at the press conference, all group members will work together to help each other.
So, no one is going to say, well, I finished my job. It's everybody's job. Even though you're only going to do one job on the day of the press conference, everybody has to work together. Especially a group like this when we have 2 people. Y'all covered a lot of ground today.
Y'all remember Bella? Someone gave her like 3 different jobs when they did the press conference. That's what you need to do. Make sure.
I'm going.
No, what time?
You won't need to worry about it if you don't say so.
Yes. Yes, you get it. Get a computer. Okay, so you might notice your job guides are a little bit different than last time. I made them 2-sided this time with 2 different styles. Listen up, y'all. Listen up. Your job guides are a little bit different this time. I'm giving you more flexibility in how to organize your information. So you can fill out the front, you can fill out the back, you can fill out the front and the back. Either way, this is to help you organize information to fulfill your role. At the end of class, I will pick up your job guides. Okay? I will pick up each group's job guides, and I will expect to see some work done in each member's job. Okay? You might not have all the information because we're going to work on this a couple of more days. But you got what? No, he's 16.
Who's the connector for you?
Oh, I see. Yeah, I just want to see. So each one is going to go on. Okay.
Why am I giving you?
They're not doing that. Because they have a different job. I'm not doing it. I'm
Now you can't really get started until you know which section of Monster is yours to work on, right? They're all good. What do you mean?
Four, 90 to 130. 90? 130?
Okay, so everyone write your group number on top of your pages. Write your group number on top of pages. What's the number?
80? 90 to 130. No! It's a little bit. Look how much.
Look. This is. We actually got that.
I think you're a little bit too late.
Yours is on page 9, so the earliest, these are in order, so you want to go to the first page that's higher than 90. So your quotes are on 90. Now you can use something from page 90, 91, but this is just some excerpts that I picked out that will help you. Remember, you don't have to tell me something about every single page, and I've helped you out by giving you some excerpts, yeah. Just like you did, just like you did with Telltale Heart.
I just noticed it. I just noticed it.
That's what I'm saying. You're not listening.
I just big problem.
And if anyone feels like some index cards, I know some of you used index cards last time. If you feel like index cards would help you, I have some.
Yeah. Look, that is their copy to keep, right?
This is they're going to give them at the end of class, give them back to me, but I'll be giving them back to them, and you can actually use these on the day of the presentation. Hold these in your hand at the press conference and read from them.
All right. Okay, over here, I'm going to head out to cover class. Now you're good? Now you get your laptop.
What does analyze even mean?
All right. Basically,
You can't go like.
Don't be afraid to ask for help.
analyze.
You can do that, you have
But what happened, or explain what happened in your section.
I don't get why I think this is the hardest part. When I first started in the group,
I know, you're not. You're working and you're going to figure out the information. You're not going to have to come up with all the information. You're going to be the one that spits it out. You have notes.
No, I already
What the hell you go on that for? You thought you were done, you're not being here. You're not done. It's hard.
I believe I can.
Mr. Luke,
You can do it. You can do
Yes,
it.
absolutely. These are yours to write on. Like I said, you'll give them to me at the end of class, but you will get these back. This will be what you use.
This is a grade.
No.
It's a daily grade. But remember, Melzar, you will use this when you give your presentation, and that's a major grade.
Oh, just for the to speak.
Yes.
Ah, never mind.
Yeah.
I'm coming. Oh, I gotta get it.
So why did I get the hardest part?
Let me see you do it. I believe in you. You can do it.
The hardest. I don't know.
It's all right. You've been doing amazing. You can do it.
All right. I'm finishing the track, then I'm coming to you. Any question? This is just like you can think. It will help you as a leader. There's already a thing in our section. Is there anything in our section that shows that Steve's view of himself is changing? Right, exactly. That's a very good tactic.
What?
You need help me?
You need help me?
What?
You need help me.
Well, you got to use this part.
No. That's what you have to do. I already did. I already read.
Well, it's not like you want to
Read.
I can't read.
Yo, I can't read.
I need to connect it now. I don't want to.
You gotta read it.
I'm old, y'all big. I'm not going to be a big one.
Where are you going now?
Who's the connector last time?
Follow him.
You know what?
Who was the connector last time?
And then,
What grade are we going to?
What grade are you?
Remember,
What grade are we going to?
I'm not going to look at this thing. Oh, he filled out this.
all got it.
This is old school. So,
I did. He said like. Should I read it?
Yeah, but what's it connected to? Like, what story is that connected to? No, we choose, but we choose.
Behind you. That's Edward.
The man, the archer.
The teacher.
Anyway.
every page has
It's a story.
Analyze the labels. So the heart.
Yes, because es de suspenso y de cosas así. Sad. You know, sad.
You got blood on you.
It's about like,
Yeah, talk about the main thing of the old man.
that's what I said.
It's smart.
This is just a tool for you to use.
I want to.
What do you do in my computer?
I'm thinking about using it, man.
I got the heart. I think that's going to be.
How you doing? Go get it.
Why don't we all do it?
I'm good, huh?
Wait, Sarah, you keep doing the same thing. Oh, you're not sure.
Who's the analyzer in this group? Oh, he is? Okay. All right.
You're not doing the hardest part.
It's the hardest part, it is. Taking on a big
You're
responsibility.
doing the same
But
part.
that's why I say the whole group helps you
I
prepare.
already did that connector. I just helped you right now to pick a story.
I'm gonna already pick it. You're the
No, I said, you say,
I can't even write it down. What is the right stuff? Right there. I thought it was right there.
Like, I think it's like cat.
How you
How
how did you do it?
I have no idea.
No, this is just nothing in here, but say I want to.
Cara baraza. Ahí está.
Fill up the loose.
137.
Okay, we got the
You're just using this as a tool if you choose. But I need to see something in writing that shows me that you put some thoughts down to paper about what you're going to do for your presentation.
But like, I'm not going to be here.
What like the neighborhood of Harlem in the late 1990s?
Y'all gonna have to move. This is dumb.
So you just look up pictures, bro.
No.
Sarah,
Not that hard.
What do you mean it's not that hard? What do you mean?
You can help me, Carol? You can help me, Carol?
You can help me out. You can help me out.
Picture.
Oh, wait, hold on. Hey, this part easy. Hold on.
Like late 1990s.
I haven't finished my water, I think. Did I finish?
It says that's what it is.
And every person who's doing a roll, while you're doing your roll, keep in mind, what images can I suggest to my visualizer? Right, Deontay? Keep in mind, what images can I suggest to my visualizer to go and find or create that we can use?
Search of a picture of
Yeah.
David Cameron.
someone killing someone.
You're the reporter?
Like a
Yeah.
character.
You just
Not real
basically
people,
tell
that's
them
mine.
Yeah,
Character.
so you can describe it. Let's say you live in a rich or poor or medium street neighborhood.
So we don't have to say that it's either in the courtroom, in jail, like where it's happened, like the thing.
Well, if your part of the story includes parts where he's in the courtroom, then you want to say our part of the story includes some scenes where he's in the courtroom. Our part of the story also contains some flashbacks where he remembers things that happened before. Everybody remembers what a flashback is?
No.
Who doesn't?
He was lying. Yeah.
He does? Okay. So this is going to be different from doing the Telltale Heart, because the Telltale Heart all went in the same order forward in time. This has flashbacks. So it's for the reporter who's going to tell us what happens in your section of the story. That's going to be a little more challenging. It's going to be a little more complicated to tell the story because it involves flashbacks.
So I gotta analyze it. Someone created a group. I gotta analyze who someone created a group. Who's a group of guys? It was like some. I'm not gonna say that. I gotta maybe not game, but. I'm see this. I'm see this video. We live in Sarah. What? When?
I would say a good tactic would be whatever your pages are, that are your section of the story, go through the excerpts and see which parts I've highlighted for you. That might give some good material for your press conference.
Do you have any tips for the analyzer?
No what?
Do you have any tips for the analyzer?
Tips. Yes, I just said it. Go to your excerpts. Start on what page does your section start on? Okay, so find the first excerpt that happens somewhere between 90 and 130 and go through each of those. And if I have them on here, we've probably talked about them in class to where you can remember, oh, I know what's going on here. I know why this is important. And then you want to start writing those notes here and then writing them on there, okay? And then if it involves something that would be a good image, you would tell your visualizer, hey, I'm going to probably talk about X, Y, or Z. When Steve drops his basketball in the street, why don't you show a basketball? You know?
Teach your basketball.
Let's go ahead. Go ahead to page the first one that's either on page 90 or after page 90.
We talk about the excerpt?
Yes.
See,
these are all in order. So the page numbers are right next to them. I didn't see you looking.
No move!
So I'll have to pass it to them.
What do you think that shows?
I'm ready in the good fight. Hello.
We're doing fine.
And why does he think she doesn't?
Wait, we didn't do a doctor good guy.
We're doing it on the.
No, we didn't fly.
Yes, slide. No, he do it. I'm doing it.
Right,
Because he needs to
okay.
do it last time.
And then is there anything in here that you can tell the visualizer, hey, this was
Bro, what is
image put to when I refer to this, when I talk about it?
You didn't see the guy crying. He didn't say she or him. Said when the guy crying. Because of the guy he was crying. Because
That's exactly the kind of thing.
I'm
Okay, and then you can write on here or write on your notes, you know, what you told me, how he or she sees it. And then you move on to the next one, maybe.
Yo estaba en la otra clase.
And if you have trouble with them,
Yo
you
estaba
know,
en la otra clase. Sara embarazada. Sara está embarazada. El muchacho ese.
We should actually get them today.
Figo.
Put a picture of a heart.
Right, told me to put it right. Just crying.
But that was the telltale heart.
No, you told me to put it right crying. You really told me to put it right crying.
That's the telltale heart.
You tell me to put it right
That was like a month ago.
And I said, put your shoes. Yo sé que te gusta el muchacho que no habla tanto. Novio.
yeah.
Yo sé que te gusta el que no habla tanto.
Para tanto.
You talk about him yes. You're a good liar. Boy, en la cámara aquí.
Yes, and remember, this is
Ah, ahí está.
It's because you put it different.
Yes.
How you put it in?
you don't have to use chops and words and phrases.
Me, you, him,
What impact does it have?
Huh?
That's just
Yo pass the computer around through the program. Sorry, I thought you was there.
choosing the ones that have the most, attention.
We'll show easy words. We'll show easy words.
I would definitely go through the excerpts first, and then if you want to go through the excerpts, don't go.
So, I'm tired. Wanna go home? I'm tired.
Make sure your name is on your page, so you get credit for the work you do.
Well, what would you do to my shirt? I mean, yeah, because you did this.
I'm saying,
Tu nombre no está bien.
Alright, I'm gonna help show us.
Hey, I could add
What is your role?
para un solo mandarlo
Can't think of
todo.
anything.
No way.
Okay, well, first off, before you move on to something else, how does this connect to the television?
Why is it so dirty?
Ese él puso esa cosita. Esa cosita de bubblegum.
Bubblegum. Martillas. Martillas.
And you find that evidence of that in your section, remember, you have pages what? 128. So, I know for a fact, there is some good evidence that in pages 128.
Okay, I'll spell your name for you.
Think about that.
Martillas.
This, and just start going through these little excerpts. Oh,
Don't send it, don't see that.
You gotta do the trick.
You will find some evidence of that. Yeah, and you don't even.
My book back. What do you do my book?
You really lame. That's not your book. Maybe
Okay, Jane, what's your role in your group?
ahí está atrás tuyo.
Son las 2.
Oh, he's doing your business.
2:12.
Your business.
I look at the time.
And they put the name on it. Alright, put my name on it. Send. ¿Sabías que sabías que eres un poquito gay? Ya, pues, ven.
You see a picture, it's like that. What's the relationship there? Does the picture look like this? I'm saying the picture of the picture. What's the relationship between the picture and the
Huele a ilegales. Aquí huele a ilegales. Yo sabía que eres ilegal. Huele mucho a ilegales. Serious? That's not hard. What do you mean that's not hard? That's not hard. What do you want? I'm not dumb. I know it's hard. When you put it right there, I'm gonna do another one. You got to say.
It's okay, you could add another one. It's still gonna be okay.
No, because when I do that,
It's still gonna be okay.
when the little thing is gonna appear there.
No, lo puedes hacer con check.
No, shut up.
Put
No.
an order. You put an order.
Okay, okay, do that.
First do it back there.
Oh my God.
Sara embarazada. Sara embarazada. ¿Qué otra picture? Sara embarazada. ¿Qué otra foto?
Quiero una foto de un
Lee las partes.
muchacho, de un muchacho.
Yes, you do.
De un muchacho.
He said he don't know how to read.
I don't.
big letters? What was the big letter?
He don't.
Big letters, what did it say?
Ni de eso, no.
Okay. Well, hold on, just.
Right, Lord.
There, where, not be at all, we just need to say.
You could read.
Yes.
You go through it in English.
No, porque
Yo tampoco.
Yes, I would trust her.
Yes.
Yes, very much so. Oh, that's a good image. Okay, I'll bet you Deontay told you to find it, right? Okay. Oh, you found it. All right, good job, Gustav. Does anybody need any help?
I need a picture of a cartoon.
So I just described you
And really, what happens? Well, what happens in the story?
Murder.
Yo didn't marry nothing now.
Do y'all have the very first? No, y'all
talking
have the
about
first
the
section. What do y'all have?
What if it's FBVE?
Steve took a look at Ms. O'Brien. He said he wanted her to know who the real Steve was. The reason for that is because he's innocent. Steve wants Ms. O'Brien to believe that he's innocent. The kids have been Steve, they look away. The reason is the narrator chose this was because the narrator wants the reader to know that people think Steve is innocent. Yes, but who is the
Oh, yeah, we
narrator?
do.
It is Steve, so you can just replace the word the narrator with Steve.
Not everybody. Like only me and Pablo.
Melzo, what's your role?
I'm a connector.
The what? The connector?
Yes.
Do you have one connection yet to another story?
Yeah, I got the other heart.
You told him one? Okay. Well, you were the connector last week, right? Yes. You were. You did a good job connecting.
I think I took it out when I was away.
I have it.
Why did it take so long for Luke?
You eat Subway? I used it one time.
So open it.
People do on the day of. Now you just gotta be no better.
I love it.
You ready for some more on that mirror? Call me when you're done, and I'll come up with the second one.
Murder and
You only get your section of the book. Okay, these are your section of the book, so.
M-U-R-D-E-R. Yes.
he told you last time.
Oh, he didn't.
And it's just like.
Only use this thing one time.
This, put this one up.
No.
It's it.
Yeah.
Because it says that it.
I know.
I'm not talking to
You gotta
you.
go back and talk. He's probably gonna have some.
Okay, what?
They did a little chunky thing around the body to see that it was a dead body where the party was playing.
You gotta do
Yes,
it.
sir.
That was the hard part.
Estoy sacando el pelo, tú siempre estás tocando el pelo tuyo.
How's it going, Jay?
Are y'all talking about work?
Yes.
Stay focused.
What's the other one? The heart and then the body.
And God.
God.
Yeah, can we search up a gun? We need a picture of God. In the beginning,
He got murdered.
when he got murdered. The old man pulled out a gun for protection, and he was hiding all over the gun, and then the old man got killed.
As long as there's relevance,
About 10 more minutes.
You can't just randomly pull up a gun, but you explained it very well. So I trust that image is related to it.
Let me ask you.
Gun.
We put a picture of a gun.
A picture of a gun? If it's related to something that's being talked about?
Yeah, that's so sure.
He gave a good explanation. Because I asked, because I didn't like it.
Okay.
This is
It's great. Yeah, it really is.
My name is the person saw me and they gave me a report without acting.
She gonna tell them.
No, but you have to be able to explain the relevance of why you're using that image in the story. Was that image brought up in the story?
Just
When?
when he killed that old man that I forgot.
Yeah, but you can't forget because you have to be able to explain.
In a little
I don't know how the corner shop.
He said, repeat what he said.
The corner shop.
Exactly.
Oh, you got the chalk line? Is that what that is?
with this.
Not.
All right. Well, let's not get too focused on just the gun.
Yeah, I mean, we're going a little
That's-
too far.
What's that?
Una metralleta.
You put like a regular picture.
Is this like holding a pistol?
Okay, that's enough. So pick your picture and get on and move to the next one.
We had a whole picture of MP5. So this one?
Okay, you know what?
Yeah, that's it. That's what I'm pointing at.
They were fighting. No, put a picture of them fighting over a gun.
How? That is what happened, right?
Yeah.
Two people fighting over a gun. That's a good idea.
They search it out.
Instead of just showing the gun.
No.
What's your rule again, Trent? Think about it.
Because I'm doing it on
So,
right now.
have you thought of any questions that you think it's possible the audience might ask you?
A ver, ¿tú cómo puedes
And then you'd want to have some answers prepared for that, wouldn't you? So have you found?
I just put neighbor. Neighbor.
If you don't use that dictionary,
Okay.
that's why you don't
Okay.
have time to do that.
It's too hard to find words.
No, well, that's not how you're gonna remember.
Let me see the dictionary.
You're not gonna remember.
It's gonna be after the break.
If you look it up yourself, I promise you're going to remember.
No,
It's gonna be way more relevant to you.
I still have the dictionary y'all gave me with the longest word in the world.
You doing okay, Sarah? That'll work.
Yeah, that one. Y también una pistola.
That is
All right, make sure there's some work with your name on it when you turn this in. You will get this back to use for your presentation. As we continue preparing. It's gonna be after the break. Yeah.
Last date, well, I'm not gonna be back until January 7th. So
Yeah, that's all
So I'm
right.
trying my best to keep it.
Where are you going to January 7th?
I'm going to
Oh, good. You got the part where Steve's dad is crying. Is that your section?
Phone.
Okay.
Don't leave it.
Yes. Yeah. That's very good. I like how you use that image of the sunshine.
Just say hello.
What if it's a loose phone? I thought it was.
Why you slapping me? Why? He slapped me. You watching this?
Yeah, he's laughing.
You see him?
Y'all can do it in whatever order you want.
I thought it was Miss Johnson's phone.
What a four picture.
Okay.
Morning.
Yes.
This is what he got.
Kick you. And stop.
Oh, Miss Johnson already saw a picture of the gun. Miss Johnson was right here.
Give it up, Sarah.
Miss Johnson was talking to us about the gun. So I already know you're coming for that.
Okay, everybody, it's time to put your name on your book. Put it all together. You should have a paper clip that came with all of your.
I got you, bro. I got you.
Anyway.
Put it all together.
Oh no! It's
Go ahead
not
and
good.
put everything together. All right, y'all. Make sure your name is on your work. We're gonna work on this again next time. Paper clip it all together. But keep your excerpts separate. Keep your oh. You owe me a paper clip.
Alright.
That was not good.
Alright.
Leave my hair alone.
What this one?
All right, let me ask y'all something. Listen close. This exercise, listen up. I have a question. Melzar, I have a question for you. Sarah, I have a question for you. All this work you're doing preparing for your press conference, of course, it's going to help you with your press conference, but how would what we're doing here prepare you to write an essay about the book Monster? How would this prepare you to write an essay about the book Monster? Okay, Lola?
Go put something, someone
Stop
cry.
it.
Listen up. Exactly. Very good. Okay, do I have a volunteer to pick up the books?
Sara Barasa.